Playing against tall players is never easy, and if you're not being careful and having the right strategies, the game could easily be over. So in this video we're going to talk about what we could do when we play against these tall players and what I personally would do. So what are some of the things that tall players are usually really good at? To me, they obviously have a big smash. And it's not only a big and fast smash, it could also be very steep. So covering or being in defense against tall players is just very, very difficult. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that because they are so tall, it feels like once they stretch their arm, they can just cover the entire court. So it feels like they are not moving at all, but you are running a lot on the court. Those are the two things that we need to solve on court to be able to beat these tall players. So we just talked about the tall players, they have a big smash. So usually for these players, they're actually quite good at getting to the net, playing the net spin, because that would mean that they get the lifts and then they can move back on the rear court and play their steep and fast attack. So that is the thing that we need to avoid. So what are the strategies that we could do? The first thing is that we need to get really early to the net. Moving to the net so we are able to meet the shuttle as early as possible. For me, kind of a rule of thumb is if I'm playing shots kind of below the height of the net, that means that I'm way too defensive. And all my shots are going upwards again, that means they can play their big smashes. So again, the rule of thumb is we need to get as many shuttles or meet as many shuttles as possible around the net tape or as close to the net tape as possible. So that also means that your feet, your footwork needs to be very focused on getting forward so we are able to control the net. Because if we control it, it's much more difficult for them to kind of make their net spin, forcing us to play the lift. So that's the first thing, getting to the net early, meaning that you need to work hard in your footwork to cover it. The second thing I want you to focus on when you're playing against these tall players is when you have the attack, try and play a lot of cuts and a lot of half smashes. So shots that kind of land in front of the tall player. If you're just playing the hard smash, they can just stretch their arm, reach it, and maybe even counter-attack your smash because it gets longer. They don't have to move their feet. So when you play the half smashes, when you play the slices, whether it's cross or whether it's straight, it forces them to move. And remember, tall players are usually a bit heavy. So it means forcing them to move their body is always a good thing. And plus, these slices, these half smashes are definitely opening up their court because they have to stretch all the way down to the ground level to reach the shuttle. So you are opening up the court, forcing them really to move their body and their feet. So that's a really, really good thing to do. The third and last kind of strategy that I would use against tall players is playing a lot of cross shots. Again, the cross shots kind of forces them to move their body, and to me it's much more difficult moving from side to side on a badminton court than moving straight on a court. So playing the cross shots forces them to move, but when we play the cross shots, it's remember to play them from an offensive position. If I'm playing cross shots from down the ground or being in defense and my low backhand, that's not really opening up the court because they are in control. So I need to get to the shots early, whether it's at the net, whether it's at the back, to be able to play the cross shots. So we really need to be careful of playing the cross shots, but when we choose the right situations to play the cross shots, I think it's a really good strategy against tall players. So that was kind of 3 strategies that I would use against tall players. The first one, getting early to the net. The second one, playing a lot of slices, a lot of half smashes in your offense. And the third one is playing a lot of cross shots, but only when you are in control, when you are in offensive positions. So I really hope that this video was useful for you, and the next time you play against a tall player, you know exactly what to do.